Hello. It's Aural Hygiene. It's the podcast where we talk about educational films, experimental caught films, and interesting documentaries. This is Matt here. And today, Mark Malek, this was your life.
I'm dead now.
You're dead and naked.
Don't throw me into a lake of fire.
Lake of Fire. Actually, there is a song Lake of Fire, isn't there? I like, but no, I'm down with Johnny Cash in the end. I can't remember what the Meat Puppets one even sounds like.
Yeah, the Meat Puppets one was like, I think one of the one of the ones that Kurt Cobain played so the Meat Puppets could afford heroin forever.
Right. That's a good way to look at it.
I'm sorry to the Meat Puppets if you're listening.
Unless you're whacked out.
Jonathan Meat Puppet, I'm very sorry.
But no, this is a different route. This is Jack Chicks. This was your life. You already gave us a highlight or two, but how about the TV guide synopsis?
Well, a guy dies of a heart attack and the Grim Reaper comes and gets him, and he goes to heaven and then has to watch himself being cool and stuff. So then he gets thrown into the fire of hell, and then some less cool guy doesn't do any of that, but he still dies.
And then, of course, we're watching an animation where there's a little joke at the end.
This is, yeah, we'll go ahead and say this is definitely runs counter to Jack Chick's intentions, but it still does lovingly incorporate his pretty cool art style.
Because first you came to me with an actual Jack Chick animation, and I was kind of like, no. It was like looked like
those are an abomination. It's a different kind of entertaining.
Yeah, we'll do it, but I wanted to get with the Jack Chick track first,
That's the thing. Jack Chick is not known for his writing or his well, I guess he is, but
yeah, I was about to say he is, but
his 3D animation was not a high point.
We might do it, but I didn't want to start there. I wanted to start here because it's a better representation of the Chick legacy. I believe he finally did do his LARP version of this movie a few years ago.
Yes, he did. He was thrown into the lake of fire by a Grim Reaper or something.
So the Chick tracks are these little comic books, right? Were you actually legitimately handed a Chick track at any point?
Yes, many times. I've collected a lot of them.
Because we live in the Southeast, so you get.
There are people who don't know what they are, though. I've heard a couple of times just someone on a podcast be like, "What?
What?
So what?
What?
They've been like, what?
That's your big chance. That's where you explain what it is. What?
Correct. It's a small comic that is roughly, I don't know, 2 by 5 inches, and it usually has about 12 pages, and it's usually sort of like a morality play, sort of drawn out. The twist is Jack Chick's tracts. They have artwork that I guess could be described as extremely metal. Things like when you see God or Satan, they have like no face. Like you'll see a demon that has just like a melted, empty face on it. There are lots of skeletons and Grim Reapers, and a lot of his stuff is sort of I would say the cruel hand of fate. Maybe there'll be something like someone will be doing everything right, and then he won't repent the right way, and then he goes to hell. There's a lot of plot twists like that. Sometimes you'll think someone is like the worst person ever, and then they will repent, and then they'll go to heaven because they repented.
And that's in the reverse of that.
Yeah, basically those two things.
Before we really get to this one, I just want to bring up my favorite one, which is the Angels. Do you know that one?
I don't remember. They all run together.
Okay, no, this is by far my favorite. The video was just someone literally reading it, so it wasn't even like animated like this. But that's the one where Lucifer becomes the new manager of the Angels, and they all get addicted to drugs and get AIDS and die and go to hell. and their song that shows them on stage going, "We're going to rock, 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 going to rock with the rock." Like literally. and it has another one of my favorite quotes, better where the guitarist has gotten like a husband, like a gay marriage, right? And the
Hmm.
manager who did you get it? Lou Cipher?
Oh yeah, I got that
Oh
immediately.
no. Okay, anyway, it's supposed to be a big plot twist in the comic, but
Of course.
he says, "Hey, I got you a wedding present. Some AIDS."
That's right. I do remember that. I do
Yeah.
remember that.
That's one of the most fantastic lines. So, I do. You can look up Jack Chick, and I think the website's still there, and you can look.
Oh,
You can read most of them online because you're supposed to be a preacher. Reviewing which ones you actually want to buy and hand out to people. That's what the website thinks you're doing when you're just there for a good time.
yes. The most recent time I encountered one was there were a couple pinned up on a bulletin board at a car wash, and I didn't take them. I wish I had. I
Yeah,
think
that's
at
what I
the
say.
time I was just going through a phase where I was like, I've got to stop being a hoarder.
You didn't want to go to hell. That's what.
That's it. Yeah.
You're a
I
hoarder into the
maybe
lake
so.
of fire.
Ugh. Yeah, throw me in a lake of garbage.
So,
So interestingly, I did notice that this video has 584 thumbs up and 238 thumbs down.
yeah, some people don't like it.
Very interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of preaching, excuse me, preaching going on in the comments, and there were also Christians arguing amongst themselves.
I should have spent more time in the comments. Okay, maybe later.
Never
Um,
spend more time in the comments.
but you should always just assume death is just behind your left shoulder. I think that's what Don Juan said in the not Don Juan, the guy in the Carlos Castaneda books. Death is always just behind your left shoulder. I mean, well, your head probably. 'Cause if you turn your head, death would move, right? Till it finally
Ugh.
taps you on the shoulder. That is
If
just
this
it's that.
ages well because one of us dies, then sorry.
What, like in the middle of the podcast? Oh, I hope I ain't curse things. Okay.
No, it would have to happen before you put it out, or
Oh,
if
right.
it happened to you, it would have to happen after you put it out because I'm not going to put it out.
Right. Yeah, I have recording. I didn't give you recording permission. Okay.
The robot didn't tell me I could record Zoom call.
Yeah. But don't you make the Ugulagi and then put the body into the Ugulagi. See, I'm trying to say the Zoolander when I'm failing. I'm just saying something.
That was a Google. You googly?
Okay, eulogy. Don't you
Aren't
do
you
the
thinking I know
eulogy
how to
and then
googly?
put the body into the ground because like they've already put all the dirt over him when they're given the eulogy.
Maybe it's a Methodist thing or Protestant or Pentecostal. They put the dirt on first.
I don't know. Something not hardcore enough for Jack Chick.
Dirt acoustic.
Because this is a one-way trip to hell. So then,
Yeah, it's safe to say that, well, not only is the fire and brimstone thing not something that's in every Christian church, but that's barely something that existed until the 70s
yeah.
because there was a whole weird thing where The Exorcist got really popular and then churches just sort of tried to make money off of it, and then we got the Satanic Panic, and then we got a bunch of horrible
Westboro
things.
Baptist Church.
Yeah, it's like we got a bunch of things that are worse than what happened in The Exorcist.
But yeah, here we get the guy ends up like with naked with the angel. So I just so I could write the note. Jack Chick just wanted to see this guy's dick. So
Yep.
which is not
Yeah.
animated here. We get to
I
the
mean,
gates of
there
St.
might be private pages. Wasn't there something like a guy leaked a page where his dad, who was a comic artist, drew like storm banging Wolverine or something? That was a thing, right? Didn't that happen like a week ago?
I don't know. A week
I'm
ago.
probably it's gonna be somebody's gonna send an angry letter and it's gonna be like, it was Rogue and Cyclops, you
They were
idiot.
making love.
Yeah, but no, that was after the whole Batman controversy, the
Oh, is that
Batman
the
doesn't eat
killing
pussy
joke?
controversy, the Batman doesn't eat pussy controversy.
Oh, okay. But yeah, St.
No, there's
Petersburg.
nothing in the killing joke that was controversial at all. Why would people even be mad about that?
The gates of St. Peter. I heard a fantastically whack theory on that, which I like. Is that the gates of St. Peter is St. Petersburg, like Russia,
Oh, okay. So
because
like you die, you go to communism.
No, because many years ago, now this is where the harebrained part comes in, but it's fun to think
Okay.
about. Russia was a much more technologically advanced empire, right? And living in Europe
Okay.
was shit. So for someone living in Europe at the time, crossing into the gates of St. Petersburg would be like going to heaven.
Okay.
I
That's
thought
a
it's a cool
very
idea. I mean,
yeah, that's pretty cool.
it depends on you buying into like the Tartarian Empire idea, but that's fun too.
Architecturally, I might put Russia over some places. I
Yeah, they got the
probably would.
Kremlin. They got the
Some
Kremlin.
cool architecture, man.
Yeah.
You know what they really invented that was super cool? Dash cams.
Oh God, yeah, those Russian dash cam footage. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just
Best the best films ever. Can we just start podcast for a review every episode of dash cams on YouTube?
no, because that'll just be us going, holy shit, fuck,
Whoa, it's a moose. Whoa, that guy's drunk. Ah!
oh my God. So it'll be like the first few minutes of the TV logos one, which weirdly has a lot of views. So I guess someone digs that stuff.
Okay.
Or listens or whatever, downloads. What does the podcast do? Yeah.
Podcast could do whatever it wants.
No, that when we did the TV logo, it's like apparently more
Yeah.
people listen to that than the guest episodes surrounding it. So
Okay. Maybe they were all searching for me.
yeah, probably.
Thank you, fans. I can't believe it. Oh my god, 86 downloads. I'm like, it can't be the number, right? It's like 14, right?
No,
32.
it's in between those numbers. So
Okay, cool.
yeah, that's
I'm
why I say
satisfied.
it's like a good club gig, right? So
Yeah, no, I mean it's just super cool to be self-deprecating about your podcast.
yeah.
So
Um,
I'm going all in on it.
Okay, moving on with the story of this guy's life. He gets his life review, which in the New Age circles you get your life review, but it's kind of like a more chill thing, I think. Here it's of course everything you did is horrible except for when you were a sweet innocent baby. I thought he was gonna rip the rabbit's head off or something though, as a baby.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna like grab that lady or something. That was I think supposed to be. I think it was animated as sort of a joke that didn't land correctly.
Yeah,
So I was just like,
I wrote, hey, he's just oogling, not raping, or was he? Then he'd be real scum.
what sort of looked like he was masturbating behind a corner
Oh
while a
yeah.
lady was just standing there. Either any of those things.
And then I wrote, I want to hear the dirty story, but not enough to pause this and read it backwards, which is how it was printed.
There's honestly, there's probably only so many jokes you can edit into this.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Manson's edited it in at near the beginning.
Oh yeah, that's definitely edited. And Penthouse magazine and that cool twist ending.
Yeah, because they just start saying words weird, like pronouncing them weird. It's like, well, that's not, that's not the source material. They get whoremonger, right? That's cool. So,
Whoremonger.
but yeah, church is fucking boring.
Yeah, it it is. This animation I think was very strongly like I think it was very strongly intended for people who are high. There's like a lot of reverb. That's
This is a good one, I guess, for that. I mean, honestly,
that's fun.
it's a little low rent, but it sort of I think it hits its mark.
Yeah, it was charming.
So
Yeah.
then they say prepare for the devil and his angels, right? I was like, oh, they're rocking out the Star Bar tonight. Hey, did the Star Bar still a thing?
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's
It
cool.
recently reopened post pandemic. I think it's changed. It's changed hands probably 3 times since you've lived here. But one of my friends is, I think, a partial owner of it now. So, hey, if you're in Atlanta, go to the Star Bar. It's pretty cool.
Got a shrine to Elvis. That's still there, right?
Yeah,
You can't get rid of
still got the
Elvis,
shrine
right?
to Elvis. Still got the little vinyl lounge in the basement. I don't know. I haven't been since I haven't. I'm still treating this like there's a pandemic, and I'm not going to places. So, uh, and that probably will age pretty well. That
Right.
decision.
Then we go to hell, which is it's not Bill and Ted's hell. I mean, like you said, the Jack Chick stuff does get metal, but Bill and Ted still had the best hell. Maybe heaven as well.
Yeah, there's as pretty amazing rewatching those, like how well they work. I don't understand. Like time travel movies shouldn't work. I've started really thinking about this lately. There's no reason time travel movies would
No.
work
Well, the
because
second one's barely a time travel movie. It's just like at the very end, right?
that's true. But it works though because you somehow are watching this stuff happen at a fixed point from a fixed point in time. Maybe it's so confusing that it just makes your brain shut off.
I think that's the case. Because
But I
like,
mean, the most recent one I've seen is Tenet. Spoilers for Tenet. I kind of am mad at Christopher Nolan right now because he keeps putting these things in his films that are like the fatalist things, where there's that Robert Pattinson character, and he just is like, "No, man, everything's already happened. You can't change it. You already did it." I don't like that. I don't like that in
okay.
films. I hate
See,
it.
I think our assessment on that one was it was kind of like the Freddie Mercury solo album because Christopher Nolan he didn't have his regular cast. Most of his crew was different, like different cinematographer, different editor. His brother wasn't in on it, so
Uh, it felt like a collection of individual scenes that I really liked, but I didn't really like the overarching plot. Like,
okay.
and the individual heists, with the notable exception of the end where it was just people shooting at each other, which I hate. Everything else was just like when they fly the plane into the museum, that was sick as hell. That was one of the best things I've seen years.
Yeah. And Little Washington, sorry I forgot his name, but has the best
Uh,
beard ever.
I want to say Grover Washington. I know that's
That's
not his
definitely
name.
wrong. He's a saxophone player.
Everybody loves the sunshine. That's not even Grover Washington. That's Roy Ayers.
You're correct. You're
Uh,
correct in your wrongness.
I'm
Anyway,
wrong and correct. It's a
I'm
quantum correctness.
I'm still
It's
blanking
fate,
on
man.
Denzel Washington's son's
I
name
was
though.
always going to be wrong.
Okay. Anyway, he had a fantastic beard. That's all I'm saying.
He's good. The other Washington is great.
Yes.
He's great.
That's his name, the other Washington.
Otherton Washington. No, 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 no. Anyway, this was your life.
So
Time travel.
are you gonna give up your morality to an illusion?
Uh,
How about George Carlin style, where we just pray to the sun? I mean, come on, the Egyptians knew that too, right?
I think what you should do morally is to just try and live the best life you can in a way where you're not going to put yourself in a position that when you're older, you turn into like a sad bastard because you're just like, oh no, and then no one wants to hang out with you, and then you'll be miserable and everything will suck. That sounds like hell to me. Just try to like not alienate yourself from everyone or lose all your stuff
That's what Jack
or
Chick that never
regret.
gets. You create your own heaven or your own hell, right?
Maybe just don't. Maybe if your relationship isn't working out, just don't do it. Just go be single. Date
Yeah.
someone else. Buy a different house. Move somewhere. Don't, just don't harvest regret, or you're gonna end up like Christopher Nolan, a sentimental bastard who's like, I can go through a black hole and touch my daughter because family is all that matters, and I'm invincible. Okay, I'm done
Is that what he
complaining
sounds
about
like in
that.
that movie?
That's what Invincible McConaughey is just like. I'm gonna go through a black hole, and because makes me invincible to space, and I will get there just in time to see my daughter be dead, and then I'm gonna go have space sex with Anne Hathaway in the future or something. I just, it's not 2001, man. 2001 is like, well, you're going. That's it. That's why 2001 is a superior film to Interstellar because it's
See,
like
I
you're
I usually
going.
do put on Interstellar these days. Instead of 2001. It's
I
just
don't blame you. It's a very competently made film, but I just don't like the amount of sentimentality on display because you're going into space, man. You're going to space. You might not die, but don't jump into a black hole and then you're like, cool, everything's fine. I don't like
when they
that
go
kind
into
of
the
thing.
fifth dimensional tesseract, that was awesome.
Yeah, then you die. If they just had him die, I mean, or not even, I just, he didn't have to die. but his going back to the past to talk to his daughter should have been an hallucination.
What if it was like Lucy and he just ends up becoming part of all time and places?
I guess that's
Could you?
cool, but
Could you?
also
What if
I
you
didn't
put
see
the
that.
Lucy ending in
I
Interstellar
didn't see
then?
Lucy.
Oh,
I'm
I just
sorry.
ruined Lucy. It's not that good,
I
but
I lost faith in Luc Besson. Yeah, I don't. I also removes the agency from like Jessica Chastain is supposed to be like the world's greatest scientist, but she couldn't have done anything if Matthew McConaughey hadn't jumped in a black hole and given her stuff in the past. That's
but
that's also kind of
they needed the
bad.
data.
Yeah, but just couldn't she just science her way out of it? Like
No, not
just
without the
science
data.
things.
Not without the data.
Dada,
Hey, that's
father.
you can't you can't science without data. That's a good
That's
point.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't see eye to eye with Christopher Nolan on his like fate stuff.
Right.
He's a very talented filmmaker, but I think the best film he's made is The Prestige, because Prestige is like I'm gonna put on a fake beard and ruin your life, and then
Over and over.
everybody's screwed, and then most people are in the film are dead,
Fake
and
Beard
that's
the movie
cool.
plus David Bowie.
Awesome. God, I love that movie. It's so metal.
See, it's more steampunk. I feel like. No,
Yeah,
there's no
steampunk. You
airship.
can't have steampunk without metal. There's brass.
I know,
It's
but you mean metal
brass.
like the sword.
It's like a tuba. It's brass.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it's Metallica.
I have this CD coming in the mail tomorrow. It's
Yeah.
I read about it. This guy, he was a journalist right after right after World War I, and he wrote this symphony. It's only been performed 3 times because it's 2 hours long. The first half, which is its own symphony, requires like 300 people to play it, and then part two is even less played because it requires like 900 people.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's
So
like
what?
these
There's only one CD of it.
there's like 3 recordings of it. So I got one coming in the mail, and we'll see how that goes. It's like the instrumentation is something like just massive string sections, of course. You're like
Yeah.
40 violins, and then
No, that sounds amazing.
there's like
I'm a big.
eight
Sorry, go ahead.
flautists. Anyway, it's Haverland Brian. Brian's the last name in this case, weirdly, but the
Hmm.
Gothic Symphony. I'm looking forward to that. It seems
I've
like a good
I've
head melter.
probably heard of it. I'm a big fan of like all the no wave guys. They sort of made that eventual transition to like what is it, a Crimson Grail for 300 guitars.
Yeah, I was about to say
Uh,
who wrote the guitar symphonies? Those are fun.
there's
Bronk.
Glenn Branca and
Yeah,
Ray's Chatham,
I
Reese.
just know the first of those two. So
Yeah, and then Boredom started doing things like 88 drummers in 2008, doing a drum performance, and
maximalist. Yeah,
yeah, maximalism
maximal,
is great.
but it's minimalist maximalism, which is even more fun.
Well, yeah,
It's all playing the
the
same
secret
thing.
to maximalism is you can't get that many people to play the exact same thing, and that's why it's great.
Yeah.
It's because you're introducing chaos by just sheerly just introducing so many musicians that they can't
Although this
possibly all
thing
be in
coming in the
unison.
mail supposedly has like 8 layers of orchestration all going on at once.
Oh God, I need to download that or
Yeah.
something.
Like I listened to a podcast about that, which was a Sticky Notes podcast, but it's such a long symphony. It's like they couldn't actually play much of it in the podcast, right? Because it's too insane.
Nope.
I'm like, I'm sold. It was one of those things where the shipping was more than the CD too. So
Oh
because it's so
man.
obscure and weird. But anyway,
Oh,
that is your life. Weird ass music, isn't it?
that is was your life and will be.
Okay. I think this one's post August 21st. So anything going on after that?
I'm just gonna give my plug to please get well soon, Bob Odenkirk. I hope you're doing better.
I hope that dates well because this will be after August 21st. Oh, and
If you don't get well, then damn it,
right.
that
We did.
sucks.
I'm looking here. We also lost ZZ Top's bass player, which is a weird
Yeah.
weirdly a
R.I.
bummer.
R.I.P. Dusty.
Yeah,
What's his last name?
Hill,
Dusty.
Dusty Hill, living
Dusty
on Dusty
Hill.
Hill. But the best thing about that is Frank Beard, the drummer, is the guy who doesn't have a beard.
Do you think that he's in a relationship to cover up someone's homosexuality too?
Yeah, that might be, but yeah, it's like if you remember, it's easy. Top two of them have the massive beards, and one just has like a mustache, and that guy's name is Beard.
The honestly, everyone says I look better with facial hair, and the only way I've been able to tolerate it is to make my beard just as short as possible.
Yeah.
And
I've been just shaving once a week. I wear masks in work anyway. So but the little kids especially will go like prying my mask to see where my facial hair is at that particular time.
wow, that sounds pretty intrusive. Sorry, I don't want to poo-poo the Japanese school culture when you're supposed to remove masks and
Well, I
look
mean,
for
they just
facial
like
hair.
flip it and check it and then put it back on, right? But you want to see how OG-san I am that particular day. This
My
is
facial
Aural.
hair grows too fast. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, this is Aural Hygiene. It's at Facebook. It's at Twitter. I talk about sci-fi movies at Matt Luke's Sci-Fi Sanctuary. All of this is under the Patreon umbrella of Podcastio Podcastius. That's
And
that.
remember, don't get thrown nude into a lake of fire.
Make sure to at least wear a wetsuit first.
No whoremongering.
No whoremongering. This was your podcast.